Chef RPG is a newly released game in September 2024. It's a single-player RPG cooking game with pixel graphics. If you're a fan of RPGs, this is definitely a game you shouldn't miss. So, let's dive into 100 days of playing Chef RPG together. Day 1. After a long journey by train, I arrive at my destination. Waiting to greet me is Hazel, a beautiful robot with a little green frog perched on her head. After a few greetings, she leads me into the town, showing me a few key locations, including where I will stay and the restaurant where I will cook. Then, I receive my first task, which is to meet a few of the local merchants in the town. They give me cooking recipes, some items, and the necessary tools. First step, let's clean up the building. Luckily, I have Hazel to help me. Then, I learn the recipes I've been given so I can serve the clients. Next step, I organize the tables, chairs, and cooking utensils. To finish, I set up the menu, and to thank Hazel, I invite her to a meal and ask for her feedback on the food. To complete the dish, I have to play a mini-game. The first mini-game requires me to bring the ingredients to the Oak Chef counter and press the W/D keys to chop them. A score of 70 or above is needed to enable auto-cook. Next, to use the stove, I have to tap X when the red button is in the little ring. After completing the mini-game, you just need to turn on auto-cook, and you won't have to play it again. Once the meal is finished, I see Hazel off. She praises the food I cook and asks about my next plans. I think I need more time, so I decide to open the restaurant for a trial. She notices that my refrigerator is a bit small and suggests I go find Bianca to fix it. Finally, she gives me a recipe. Listening to her, I immediately go to meet Bianca. I ask her for help, but she requests that I give her the inspiration from Thelio. I go to meet Thelio, and the inspiration that Bianca needs is a Goldilocks chocolate bar priced at $500. It's really expensive, but I have no other choice, so I buy and return it to Bianca. She takes it and says she can fix my refrigerator right now. I return to the restaurant and see Bianca waiting there. She fixes the refrigerator for me, and now we can store more ingredients. The first day's task is complete, and I take some time to gather ingredients in the forest. Because the refrigerator is not so big, I will check the dishes I can currently cook and prepare only the necessary ingredients. Additionally, I will gather and accumulate a few ingredients for upcoming tasks, such as seashells, watercress salad, elderberries, chili peppers, and sugar cane. I also haven't forgotten about collecting shells on the beach because I can sell them to Mr. Boat. The money helps a lot in the beginning of the game. In the evening, I arrive at the hotel to check in. Chef Cousteau has booked a room for me, and for the next few days, I will stay in room 1B. Time has passed so quickly. Just 3 weeks ago, I decided to leave the city and move to the town of White Ash Harbor. Now that I've arrived in this town, I'm starting a new life, hoping everything goes smoothly. Day 2, early in the morning, Hazel comes to find me to ask about the restaurant and the opening time. She says she can ask some people from the town to help me. She also reminds me that I need to hire more staff. For now, I will open the restaurant for a trial run tomorrow to check for any issues, then decide on the official opening date. To prepare for tomorrow, I visit some stores to buy the necessary ingredients. I need to talk to the local people regularly to build relationships, as this will help me get better prices for recipes and products. Since it's still early and the stores haven't opened yet, I'm deciding to go up to the mountain near my old bathhouse to collect tea leaves and cut some sorghum plants. We'll need sorghum plants for a mission later, so I'm gathering them now. After that, I am returning to the town and going to the shops. Talking to NPCs will help us level up our social skills. I buy a recipe at Nabita's fruit stand and learn how to make mushroom pizza. Next, I buy a rare recipe at the takoyaki stall and learn how to make takoyaki. Then, I go to Fish King's shop and sell all the shells I picked up yesterday. I stop by La Galerie to buy more tables, chairs, and cooking utensils. Since I'm still low on money, I will save and buy the cheapest chair, and I haven't bought any decorations yet. I should have kept the clam shells for a mission, but it's okay. I still have the beach to collect from, so I will go there now. After collecting, I go up and receive a mission from Mea-lou. She asked me to plant tomatoes for her, and I agree. Following that, Mea-lou takes me to the greenhouse and shows me how to use it. I receive 5 seeds from Mea-lou, start planting, and water them. Next, I return to the restaurant and start selling to earn some extra money. Since I just bought some cooking utensils, today I will play 3 new mini-games. First, for dishes made with the blender, I need to look at the left side where the ingredients appear. Wait until the yellow arrow points exactly at the ingredient, then press the spacebar. Second, for the grill, to prevent the food from burning, we move the tongs with the mouse and then click the left mouse button to lift the food, allowing it to cool. The closer the red color is to the center of the two yellow bars, the higher the quality of the dish. The last mini game is the oven. I need to hold the spacebar so that the arrow stays on the orange bar. If it goes outside, the dish's quality will decrease. Today, I was only able to serve for customers, so I earned 1266 credits. It's still early, so I go into the forest to hunt and gather resources. Hunting and gathering also help us level up quickly. Late at night, I go back to the hotel to rest and relax. Unable to sleep, I reminisce about the old days, for years ago when I was still at culinary school. Before entering the graduation cooking competition, I had to choose a classmate to compete with. After speaking with two friends, I decided to choose Koa. He was so arrogant. Day 3. Today, I receive a letter from Koa. He is very surprised when I decide to quit Otto Canton's kitchen and take over Les Sequoia restaurant. Although we have talked about owning a restaurant, he doesn't expect me to choose to work in the small town of White Ash Harbor. He is curious and hopes I know what I am doing. On the way to meet Pomarine to say hello, I stopped by the greenhouse to water some tomato plants. Pomarine was a hunter, but due to her age, she now stays at home organizing hunting activities. Once a high level of friendship is reached, better weapons and tools can be bought, and since update 0.6, blueprints can also be collected to forge legendary weapons and tools. Not forgetting my task, I meet Hazel to inform her that I am ready for the soft opening. The task I receive is that our restaurant will welcome for customers. Hazel invites to try the food, and she requires at least 3 dishes for dining spots and 1 waiter. After receiving the task, I head into the town to buy some supplies and also talk to people to build friendships. I buy a recipe from Milo's shop and some flour, then learn how to make elderberry cupcakes. Afterward, I go to meet others and gradually increase friendship with Uriel, Mea-lou, and Nabio. I also don't forget to harvest some sorghum and catch a few squid for takoyaki, as that dish is currently selling for the most money. While harvesting tea leaves, I level up, so I decide to learn the secret admirer skill. After 3 days, I reach level 5 and choose the skills shown in the picture. It's time to head back to the restaurant to open. First, I hire a waiter. After reviewing the stats, I choose to hire Jay. Next, I set up the menu. Then open the doors to welcome Hazel and everyone else to dine. I see everyone off and receive their feedback. Hazel advises me that if I want more customers, I should hold a big grand opening. Milo mentions that running a restaurant is not easy, so I should prepare thoroughly. Bianca says the food isn't bad, but the decoration is still quite basic. Uriel agrees with Bianca and urges me to renovate before the grand opening. He suggests I talk to Prisca at the town hall. She can help replace the old flooring. Finally, I am gifted a table setting and I choose the purple color. I head straight to the town hall to meet Prisca. The first meeting doesn't seem to be easy. I see her arguing with a customer, their face red with anger. I express my desire for her help, and she says that I need to find old tools in the abandoned bathroom on the mountain. Oh, I've heard that place is very scary, but it's alright, nothing can stop me. I arrive at the place, and the scene is truly desolate. I step inside, and everything inside the building is severely damaged. I go up the stairs and see the figure of someone. I climb up, but they have disappeared. Not letting fear distract me from my mission, I search everywhere. Finally find carpentry tools. I take it to Bianca, and it gets repaired with a free flooring choice. I like cheerful colors, so I choose a red flooring. It's still not 12 o'clock, so I go around foraging and then head back to the hotel. Tonight is another sleepless night for me. I need to think about the upcoming grand opening. Then, suddenly, I remember that dreadful day. It was just another normal workday at the restaurant. After using the restroom, the head chef asked me to prepare a dish. I was quite confident in the dish I made, but when I handed it to the head chef, he criticized it severely. I was truly devastated. Day 4. Priska also finished repairing the flooring today and she mentions that the restaurant can be expanded, but the cost is not cheap. The mission this time rewards me with kitchen equipment. Just when I need fryer, I'll choose it to save money on buying one. Let's check out the restaurant's new look. I think it's quite good. I place the fryer in the kitchen. Ko writes me a letter and informs me that he will visit me in the near future. Today, I received the first heart from Pomarine. After checking her shop, I see that I can buy some rare tools, but since I don't have enough money right now, I'll buy them later. After that, I unlock the bookworm skill. I might discover new recipes when reading library books. Continuing to talk to the shop owners, I managed to buy the recipe for summer pasta. Next, I go to the library to read books, hoping to find more recipes. After a while, I managed to learn the recipe for sweet tea. Then, I go back and finish talking to everyone, and my relationship with Milo and Alois is improved. Next, I go back to the restaurant and open it to welcome customers. I unlock the automatic cooking of rare grilled dishes. How cool is that? A new mini-game appears when using the fryer. Move the mouse up and down to avoid bubbles. Popping the bubbles will reduce the quality of the dish. At the end of the session, I earn 1940 credits. There's still time, so I go to the greenhouse to plant the seeds that I bought this morning. After that, I go to pick some vegetables and fruits nearby and then head back to the hotel. Day 5. Ko is waiting in front of Le Sequoia for me. He asks why I came back here, and I answer that I just want to leave the city. He wants to attend my grand opening, so he comes here. After that, I don't forget watering my plants, so I go to the greenhouse. When I go outside, I see that everyone is gathered in front of the cave, and two people are breaking the fence to open it. The mayor has hired Lelsh to reopen the mines. Priska seems to dislike this. She doesn't know why the mines are being reopened either. She also revealed that Lelsh had once destroyed a small town in the past, and she will tell me about it later. The town was called Tidehaven, and it has now become a ghost town and abandoned. Now that the mine is open, we can take advantage of it to extract the valuable resources there. Priska also gave me an antique drill and asked me to find 5 pieces of iron ore and 2 pieces of copper ore for her. I immediately get started on the task, go into the mine, and begin drilling. While mining, I level up by 2 levels, so I chose to learn the thick skin. To ensure the grand opening goes smoothly, I need to come up with a decoration idea. Hazel might have some great suggestions, so I'll go find her and ask. She suggested I go to Milo because he's a very skilled designer. I am looking for him at the clothing shop. He immediately has decoration ideas, but I need to bring seashells, watercress, and rope. Luckily, I have found everything, but I need to go get the rope from Alois. I go to find Alois, ask her, and she points me to look around here. In the end, I find it. I found the rope, but I forgot the watercress at the restaurant. Before going back to get it, I talk to the locals to improve relationships and see what they're selling today. From Nabiha's place, I get a rare recipe to cook bell pepper stew. After that, I also buy bell peppers to cook the new dish and some seeds from Mea-lou. Next, I go back to the restaurant to get the items and then return to Milo. I give her the items, and she tells me I can see the result tomorrow. I finish today's task and head to Anime's house, where there is a garden full of harvestable plants. In order to harvest them, we need to become friends with Mea-lou and Anna. Tomorrow is Saturday. After Milo finished the decorations, I will have the grand opening of the restaurant, so I need to go to La Galerie to buy more furniture now. After that, I go back to the restaurant and rearrange the tables and chairs. I also hire an extra waiter and then open the restaurant. Today, the restaurant welcomes 7 guests. Since I still have few staff, I don't dare to take in more. At the end of the day, I earn 2,411 credits and also complete one of the 3 tasks on the Prestige Tasks board. If I complete all tasks, I will receive a recipe and some power cells. Day 6. I wake up, leave the hotel, and head straight to the greenhouse to water the plants and plant more vegetables. Afterwards, I go to Huntorium and unlock Mrs. Pomarine's quest. Talking to NPCs regularly helps unlock character quests. Mrs. Pomarine wants to give fresh ingredients to her children, but since she has just had surgery, she can't go hunting. She asked me to gather the ingredients for her. She has 12 children and wants to give each one to pieces, so I need to bring her 20 for mushrooms, 20 for boar meat, 20 for salmon, and 20 for mint leaves. Near the greenhouse, there are mushrooms, so I go there to pick some. After that, I head to the mine to gather more ores. I really need ores for quests and crafting machines. While in the mine, there are also alder boars, and by hunting them, we will get a lot of meat. Just 2 boars are enough to get 24 pieces of meat. Once I've mined all the ores, I head to the town to meet Milo and pick up the restaurant decorations. When I bring the decorations to the restaurant, Milo helps me set them up. I give compliments for the decorations Milo made. That makes him happy. Hazel is also there and notices that everything is set up. She tells me to let her know when I'm ready for the grand opening. Feeling ready, I go to Hazel and inform her. For the grand opening, I need at least 6 dishes, 15 customers, 8 dining spots, 3 chefs, and 2 waiters. Before opening the restaurant, I need to hire 1 more waiter and 1 more chef. After reviewing their work stats, I hire Carla for the waiter position and Omar as the chef. Omar never takes a break, but he has a 9% confusion rate. I rearrange the furniture to make it easier for cooking and serving. Since I don't have much money early in the game, I make use of the table I was given. The restaurant looks a bit unattractive for now, but I'm sure I'll redecorate it in the future. I give a short speech to thank the customers for coming and hope that our service will meet everyone's expectations and satisfaction. The restaurant is officially open. My team and I are doing our best to prepare the perfect dishes to serve our esteemed guests. Look at Omar. When a question mark appears above his head, he will stay still for a while. But I don't see it as a big problem, since the break times for other employees are much longer. The total revenue from the grand opening is 4,383 credits, and I also completed another prestige task. I received many compliments from everyone, and I'm really happy. And at last, I'm getting an epic recipe from Koa. This recipe teaches me how to make crab cakes. It's the first time I've heard of this dish. After a long and exhausting day, I return to my room and go to bed. I suddenly recall 2 months ago when I received a letter from Chef Cousteau. He was aware of my situation with Chef Canton and gave me a challenge to restore the Sequoia restaurant. Day 7. I start the new day with the usual activities, water the vegetables, then go mining. Yesterday, I learned how to make crab cakes, so I go hunting for crabs in the cave. As I leave the cave, I run into Bo and Hazel, so I take the chance to say hello. I've gathered enough ore, so I decide to meet Priska and complete the task. After handing over the ore, Priska gets to work on fixing something. Once she's done, she explains that this is the donation box. She plans to make repairs around White Ash Harbor, but Gavin mentioned that the budget is too large, so she created this donation box for the townspeople to contribute, and then they'll decide what to fix. Contributions can be made using credits, resources, or by completing tasks from the bulletin board. Since I helped Priska, she gives me 100 contribution points. I can now use these points to choose a project. After reviewing the projects, I realize I only have enough points to fix the birthday calendar, so I choose to repair that one first. Once the project is complete, I'll be able to check everyone's birthdays in town. After choosing, I go back to talk to Bianca. She even gives me the blueprint for the furnace, which will help us remove impurities from the ore and produce high-quality metal sheets. I need them to refine and upgrade tools. What's more, when we donate the metal sheets, it will increase our contribution points. After finishing the task, I go to the library to read a book and discover the recipe for dak and radish fried. Next, I take time to open the restaurant and greet the guests. At 6:40 p.m., the restaurant has no more customers, and today's revenue is 2,507 credits. There's still some time, so I decide to go fishing for salmon to complete a task for Mrs. Pomarine. Since it's spring, salmon can only be caught at the beach. I can buy some from Mr. Bo, but it depends on the time of day when he sells them. I spend the entire evening fishing, but I only catch 3 pieces of salmon. I'm so discouraged. I'm going back to my room to sleep. So I have completed the Act 1, now it's time for Act 2. The opening is a conversation between 2 people. The gentleman sitting is Lucius, a restaurant critic. He has just finished writing a review and is preparing to send it to the Tribune newspaper. It seems that this review will be a bombshell, causing significant damage to the restaurant. He is someone who highly values the ambience of a restaurant. If the restaurant only focuses on the food, it will be rated poorly. His reviews carry a lot of weight with customers, and many restaurants have closed because of him. The reopening of Le Sequoia has been covered in the newspaper, and that article has reached Lucius. He decides to visit the restaurant to try the food. Begin at day 15, scene changes to 10 a.m., the 15th, at the train station. There are many tourists arriving, and they are talking about my restaurant. It seems that after the article, the restaurant has gained a lot of attention and become well known. Starting the new day by learning a new skill, because I really want to learn more cooking recipes, so I'm aiming to open up the hand-on approach skill. This skill will help me explore new dishes while cooking. But first, I need to unlock the research facility. It's also one of the important skills. After that, on my way, I stop by the 11th store. How? Yes, the name really is 811, just like in real life. It's a convenience store, open 24/7, from 24 o'clock to 24 o'clock. I go in to buy some ingredients for baking. They also occasionally sell cooking recipes here. Next, I go to talk to Milo. After that, I visit the store next door to talk to Bianca. Before that, I had unlocked the secret admirer, so I have to talk to the NPCs regularly. When I reach enough friendship points with the characters, I will receive many gifts from them. Today, I see that the milk and wheat store is selling a recipe, so I immediately buy it and learn how to make matcha cake. Subsequently, I also managed to buy the pheasant tacos recipe from Uriel. Inside the library, I also learned the frozen mint coulis recipe. When I go outside, I receive a task from B. She wants me to make beer for her. This task takes a lot of time and effort because we need to craft a brewing machine to make the beer. I go to Bianca to check what ingredients are needed to craft the machines. We need to craft the machines, the boiling vat, and the fermentation tank. Currently, I still don't have enough ingredients, so I go mining to gather them. I have finished drilling all the ores. Then, I make my way to the greenhouse to check on the tomato plants, and they are ready to be harvested. It's already late, so I open the restaurant. Today, I unlock the auto-cook feature for epic recipes when using the fried. Tonight, the revenue is 2060 to credits. My restaurant has also completed all the prestige tasks and received the pumpkin pie recipe. I choose to learn this dish because it sells for more money than the other dishes. There's still time, so I go to the beach to fish for salmon again, but I only catch 3 pieces. Day 16. This morning, while I am talking to Hazel, I receive a letter from Mr. Lucius. He informs me that he will come to my restaurant to try and evaluate it. Hazel advises me to prepare well to welcome him. She also suggests a few drinks that might help. I should go talk to April, as she can share some experience. Starting today, I will diligently complete my daily tasks. It will help me increase my reputation points, gain hearts with the villagers, and also help me earn some money or items. I need crab meat to cook, so I choose the task of catching 8 crabs. After that, I go to Mr. Goey's shop to buy salmon. Fortunately, he has some for sale today. Now I have 21 pieces of saumon, just 3 more pieces to go. I decide to go fishing to get more so I can complete the task for Mrs. Pomarine, but for now, I will go talk to the villagers first. At Milo's place, I got the rhinestone hat blueprint. At the library, I learn it for common recipes and 1 rare recipe. Among them, the coffee is something I already know how to make, and the new dishes are bento box, elderberry pudding, grape popper, and finally, the pheasant burger. Once everything is done, I go to the beach to fish, and on the first try, I catch 3 pieces of salmon. After that, I go back to the restaurant with all the ingredients to complete all the tasks. First, I take on a story quest called The Tea of Life. I go to meet April near the Lonely Cliffs and ask her about how to make tea. But she needs a few items before she will share the secret of making tea with me. She requests 30 chili, 30 elderberries, and 30 sugar cane. Since I've already prepared the items, I give them to her right away. After that, she takes me back to her home and shows me the machine she uses to make tea. All I have to do is add the ingredients into the machine, and it will do the rest. However, she explains that I must first add the tea leaves into the machine, and then I can add the secondary ingredients into mix. She hands me some ingredients and asks me to try making the tea myself. We both try the tea, and she says the flavor is quite good. She explains that drinking the tea can help restore stamina. After that, she gives me her old tea dispenser. I can use it to brew tea for my staff, which will help them relieve fatigue and get back to work right away. For the next quest, I need to find Pomarine and give her the ingredients. Luckily, she is at a nearby beach, so I go there, complete the quest, and get the leather bracers. They give me a 5% gathering boost and a 10% reduction in energy depletion. The last quest of the day is to deliver some wild tomatoes to Milo. I harvested them yesterday, but only today do I have the time to bring them to her. After that, she gives me some seeds to plant a new crop. With this, I also unlock the seed collection skill. Now, when I harvest plants or hunt animals, I may receive seeds as well. On my way back to the restaurant, I receive a quest from Milo. Seeing that he seemed to be troubled, I approached him and asked if everything was okay. Oh, it turns out that his cotton supplier delivered poor quality goods to him. He asked me to help him grow cotton. I agree, and to get cotton seeds, I need to visit his house, which is near BB Apartments. I go to his house right away. He leads me upstairs and gives me 10 cotton seeds to plant. With nothing left to hold me back, I head straight to the restaurant, brew tea for the staff, and open the doors to welcome the customers. Since there's a rare pastry on the menu, I have to play a mini-game to unlock the auto-cook feature. Today, I earned 2,340 for credits and complete 2 tasks. With the remaining time, I go to plant cotton and a few other seeds. Day 17, in the early morning, I head out to water the plants right away. I want to do it first because I'm afraid I won't have time to water them later in the evening. After that, I go hunting for crabs to complete my quest. Then, I make my way into the town. As soon as I arrive, I notice Thelio seems to be having some trouble. I approach him and ask what's going on. It turns out that last night, someone stole his flour, and he's worried about his salary being deducted by his boss. I offer to help, and he suggests I check the cave near the beach, as the thieves might be hiding there. No matter how busy I am, I never forget to read a book, and today I receive a new recipe. Next, I find Mr. Boa to complete the quest and receive 899 credits. Then, I head to the cave to search for the thieves. After wandering around for a while and finding no one, I only come across a stolen box. I take it back and give it to Thelio. He comes up with an idea: we'll make flour to replace what was lost. However, only Bianca in the town can craft the flour making machine. So, I go to find her and explain the situation. She asks for some materials: 10 iron ores, 5 copper ores, 15 plant roots, and 5 bottles of mead as payment for her. I check to see if there are any tasks to complete and find the daily quest to collect 10 bottles of whiskey. Whiskey can be bought from the vending machine near the fish stall or at Bee's Bar. The Bee's Bar is open every day from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., so I will go to the restaurant to sell first, then go back to the town to buy some alcohol afterward. Today's cooking session, I completed the mini-game of the rare dish that used stove. Go to Bee's, buy more whiskey and 5 bottles of mead to give to Bianca. She needs time to enjoy the mead. Meanwhile, I have to find Thelio to ask about obtaining grains. I meet Thelio, and he asked me to gather them near the old bathhouse. Since I am so used to being asked to run errands in this town, I have already prepared in advance and give them to him right away. I go out and then come back to Bianca's shop. Bianca has finished the grain mill. Thelio just needs to put the grains into the machine and wait a little while, and the flour will be ready for him. He is so happy and wants to hug Bianca, but she doesn't allow him. Ha ha ha, it seems like he likes her. To thank Thelio for suggesting I find anime, she is really skilled at making decorations, and those will help me win over the food critic Lucius. Day 18, just like every day, I diligently water the plants, go mining, and then take on more daily tasks. I go to see Mr. Bo, turn in my task, and receive 4 power cells. It's great. Then I unlock the design for Hunter's Lid Walks. When I go to read the book, I find 2 recipes, but only the mojito recipe is new. For recipes that have already been unlocked, opening them a second time gives a small amount of money. I go outside, talk to people, and buy the recipe from Milo. Then I unlock the recipe for spinach soup. Right next to it, there is a board. Since Priska fixed it, I haven't looked at it yet. Soon, I will need to hire more staff, so I prioritize learning staff training skills. I go to Anime's house to find her, and I see her standing right outside in the garden. I walk over and talk to her, and after a while, I realize that she is someone who loves art and has a very high level of creativity. She suggests starting the decoration with light bulbs, so I need to bring her some and cut quartz. I collect enough items, so I give them to her right away. and she says that in order to make the lights suitable for the restaurant, she needs to taste the food first. I return to the restaurant to prepare for Anime's arrival, but before that, I will cook a crab cake dish to complete a task for Milo. A little later, Anime arrives. I don't actually need to hire more staff because with just one customer, I can easily handle the service. As a result, the revenue goes negative by 314 credits. After eating, I see Anime off, and she says she has an idea. Tomorrow, I can come to her place to get it. After that, I return to the restaurant to open the door and welcome customers. My restaurant is getting more and more customers every day. However, the revenue at the end of the day is only close to 2,000, so I need to improve the dishes and focus on selling more expensive items. With some time left, I go into the forest to gather vegetables and fruits. Day 19, I go to Milo to complete the task, and by chance, I get the Hazel's legging. I try it on, but it seems like it doesn't fit well. Then, I visit Bianca and ask her to craft the boiling vat to make beer. I head to the library and find a recipe for making matcha berry smoothie. Then, I meet Anna, and she gives me two very artistic lamps. While I'm there, I go to the train station to give Benjamin a clamshell and receive 258 credits. Since today is Friday and tomorrow La Gallery will be closed, I buy more items and decorations to prepare for the arrival of the food critic. After that, I return to the restaurant to rearrange and redecorate it. I place the balloons behind the computer, put two lamps in front to make it bright and attract wealth, place the fish tank by the window, then put two plants next to the tank, and two vases next to the lamps. Finally, I place the flour mill and boiling vat in the corner of the wall. I check the menu and add a few new dishes. I open the restaurant and start making money. Since getting the tea machine, I really regret hiring this guy. He lags all the time and wastes a lot of time. Today, the revenue has improved, and the restaurant earns 3,657 credits. While I'm standing nearby, I try out the flour mill. I close the restaurant and head home, only to find Mr. Lucius standing hesitantly outside the door. Without greeting me, he criticizes me as an unknown chef. He says that he was supposed to come and eat today, but he missed the train and couldn't make it. He will come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will need to hire more staff, so I am learning the recruiter skill. I can now hire epic-level chefs and waiters. 8 recruitment slots are now available instead of 4. Day 20. Today is really fun. After days of chatting with the locals to build up my relationships, I finally received my first gift box from Bowie. Then, I go water the plants. The cotton plants seem to be ready for harvest soon, just need a few more days of care. I head into town to take on my daily tasks. I will collect 11 bottles of whiskey for Na Hobby to cook a new dish. Today is Saturday, but Thelio is still diligently selling, so I stop by to support and buy some seeds to have ingredients for making beer. Then, I go buy some alcohol from the vending machine. I'm just a little bit short of endurance points to level up, so I go pick some more fruits to get enough points. After that, I go to the restaurant and hire 2 rare employees. However, I'm still short of 1 waiter, so I have to pay 500 credits to refresh the list and hire 1 more rare waiter. I also don't forget to make tea for the staff. Because I received a few more items today, I added and replaced some furniture to increase the decoration points. Le Sequoia restaurant opens. At the same time, Lucius also starts heading to the restaurant. It seems like everyone knows Mr. Lucius is coming today, so a lot of customers are showing up. My staff and I are working non-stop. At the end of the day, Mr. Lucius gave a rating of 65% for the food quality. I'm not sure what his full review of the restaurant is yet. I almost forgot. Today I've reached 3 levels but still haven't learned any new skills, so I unlock the hands-on approach now. After that, I spend the whole evening hunting in the forest. Before going to bed, I go to the bar to buy whiskey for the task and rum to make a mojito. At the end of the day, I check to see what the vending machine in front of the hotel is selling, and I might get a new recipe. On the 21st, I forgot to save it, but luckily, there was nothing new. In the morning, I water the plants, go mining, then wander around the town chatting with the locals, and after cooking, if I have time, I go to the forest. Day 22. In the early morning, I go into the greenhouse and see the cotton ripening, so I rush in to harvest them right away. Another task is about to be completed. Next, I stop by the daily task board and see the task to give a cone shell to Thelio, so I choose it right away. I go talk to everyone. While I'm at it, I give Nabia 11 bottles of whiskey, and she rewards me with 21 cream. Since I've harvested enough cotton for Milo, I conveniently stop by and give it to her. And she gives me some vegetables. After thinking for a while, I choose the bell pepper. I grew and harvested barley, so I now have the ingredients to make beer. I put the barley into the machine and selected the boil mode. I really need to level up my cooking to learn more skills, so I will cook diligently. I've completed all the tasks in Act 2. Let's start with Act 3. Day 23. To my surprise, Chef Cousteau comes to meet me at the restaurant today. He says he reads a review from Mr. Lucius and decides to come see how Les Equois is doing. In the end, he asked me to meet him at the Peony Bathhouse after 8 p.m. I go into the town to buy some things and read a book. While I'm at it, I stop by to check what tasks are available today. After that, I choose the task to give a cone shell to Bianca. The economy is stable now, so I decide to upgrade to a better fishing rod. I give the cone shell to Bianca, and she gives me a random recipe in return. I was hoping for a rare recipe, but no luck. But I get lucky at the library, where I discover an epic recipe and a common recipe. The epic recipe is steak burrito with honey, and the ingredient required are Wagyu steak, which can be purchased from Chop once you have a high friendship with Uriel. The second recipe is roast pheasant. After that, I buy a lemon tree and an orange tree to plant in the greenhouse. I proceed to take the wort and place it into the fermentation tank. Beer is easy to make because it only requires 2 brewing phases. Next, I make my way to the fridge to store my items. My fridge and bag are almost full, but I still don't have enough 10 power cells to upgrade the fridge. Once everything is done, I open the restaurant door to welcome customers. There's a mini game. I have to choose the right ingredients to grind. Finishing it with 100 points helped me unlock auto cook. After the restaurant closes, I head to the bathhouse as instructed by Chef Cousteau. As soon as I enter, I see a person with their face completely covered. Surprised, I ask if it's a ghost, and the person starts introducing themselves as Najit. She works for Ellen, the owner of the bathhouse. She then leads me upstairs, where Cousteau and Ellen are waiting. Ellen tells me that the bathhouse used to attract many visitors from outside the town. They enjoyed having pastries and tea after their bath. She wants me to manage the tea house. However, before handing over this task to me, they need to renovate the bathhouse, so they've asked me to find some items. The first thing I need to find is a couple of copper pipes. After receiving the task, I stand and chat with Chef for a bit. It seems like he wants to emphasize that restoring the bathhouse is essential for the town. I return to my room and store some items in the cupboard. Day 24. I start the day by planting the seed I bought yesterday. Then I diligently water it to help the plant grow and bear fruit. Then I go to visit Grandma Pomarine, talk to her. She is also the person who sells tools. I think I need to buy a better bow and a better scythe and sell the old ones. Next, I go to the cave. Today, I'm really lucky. For the first time, I drill up to diamonds. After going to the cave, I come to bits and pieces and talk with Bianca. She tells me that many tourists have come, but they don't need the services at her place, and asks me for suggestions. I suggest she can sell smartwatches. Then, I mention that I need copper pipes to repair the old bathroom. She agrees to help but requests 5 copper, 5 iron, and 5 bottles of vodka. I immediately go to the vending machine to buy vodka, then return to give it to Bianca. She needs 1 day to make the copper pipes, so I can come back tomorrow to pick them up. I go to the market and get a baked potato recipe from Nabia. Then I have the task of giving 12 pieces of cheese to April, so I go to meet her and give it to her. I receive 772 credits. After that, I make the amethyst ring, and by wearing it, I increase my movement speed by 5%. Returning to the restaurant, the beer is ready. After taking it, I open the restaurant to welcome customers. Today, the restaurant is busy, so the income is quite good, 3,441 credits. Day 25. I go into town, give a bottle of DD Cola to Uriel. Then stop by Milo and get the recipe for simmered daikon radish. Next, I go to the hospital, meet Valentina to talk, and receive the blueprint. I open the blueprint, and I discover the Crystal Emerald Mountain. By the way, I buy 6 packs of ice for later use. After that, I go to meet Bianca to get the item. When I arrive, she is walking around, and I don't understand why. It turns out she wasn't sure if it was the tube I needed, she was going by memory. I go to the old bathhouse to deliver it, and luckily, they're the right items. I receive an epic recipe, learn it, and discover how to make a sunset cocktail. After completing the task, I return to selling food to earn extra income. After the restaurant closes, I remember that I need to give B the bottle of beer I made, so I have to go to her house to meet her. She shows me how to make beer, gives me the boiling vats and a fermentation tank, then gives me 20 barley and a note with the beer process, then requesting me to make 20 more bottles of beer. Day 26. I continue to meet Mrs. Pomarine to talk and give her sunscreen, which is something she loves. After that, I receive the design for the cipher legs. Next, I go to the town as usual. I need cheese and cream, so I stop by Thelio to buy them. I also get the recipe for the chocolate trio from him. After the market, I go to the bathhouse to meet Najat and Aylin. I ask what's next on the to-do list. Aylin says that the important ingredient they need to add to the mixture is sulfur from the volcano. Since Aylin is fragile and Najat is afraid of fire, I will have to go to the volcano alone. It's very hot there, so I need pack ice to cool down. Therefore, I need to go to the hospital to buy it. After that, I have to pay 2,000 to Valentina to get 5 packs of ice. I've spent too much today, so I have to open the restaurant to earn back the money. But first, I put barley into the machine to make beer. Today, I only earned 2,741 credits and complete all the tasks for this round, so I'll receive 8 power cells and the recipe for whiskey coffee. After gathering enough money and power cells, I immediately upgrade the fridge. With some time left, I go to the forest, and while picking wild vegetables, I find some seeds. Day 27. I begin drilling sulfur for the bathhouse. Inside the volcano, it's extremely hot, and using pack ice helps slow down my health loss. While there, I also collect obsidian, a new material that is probably used for crafting decorations. Next, I go to Bianca's place to craft a furnace, which is useful in refining raw mineral ores. After working hard on the tasks, I stop by the town hall to check my contribution points. I have 157 points, which is not bad. After that, I return to the restaurant, place the furnace in the corner, and start welcoming customers. Day 28. In the morning, I go to the greenhouse. The grapes have borne fruit, and the grains are ready for harvest. After harvesting, I continue watering the plants. The second task this morning is to find sulfur in the volcano. After a while, I gather enough sulfur, 15 pieces. I then go to the quest board and accept the task to make a sunset cocktail for Uriel. At the restaurant, I open the fridge to gather the ingredients, then go to the blender and start playing the minigame. Since this is an epic dish, I have to choose for ingredients. After completing the dish, I open the restaurant door and sell the food. Next, I go to the bathhouse to give the sulfur to Najat. She shares with me the secret to creating a wonderful bath experience. The secret is to make a special fragrant block called bath blocks. After receiving a few ingredients from her, I try to make the bath blocks. I choose the ingredients and start making it. Each component added affects the type of bath block created. The higher the fragrance level, the better the quality. To make it, I play a new minigame. I press the spacebar when the ingredients reach the flashing area. Combining 3 identical components triples the benefits of each ingredient added. Once the product is finished, I receive a Peony ticket, which I can use to exchange for furniture or decorations. The higher the completion score, the more tickets I get. After completing the task, I receive an epic recipe, which is for salmon egg benedict. Near the bathhouse, there are a lot of sorghum, so I go to harvest it to get ingredients for grinding into flour. Day 29, summer arrives, and the scenery turns yellow because of the intense sun. I go to find Grandma Pomarine to chat, and I see her standing by the cliff, gazing into the distance as if she is thinking about something. I approach her and ask about it. It turns out that she has always wanted to hunt the ancient Razorback, but despite spending years searching for it when she was younger, she never finds it. Recently, the creature reappears in the forest, but due to her old age and frailty, she cannot hunt it anymore. So, I volunteer to hunt it and fulfill her wish. I have 1 day to prepare. After meeting her, I go to the volcano to dig for sulfur because we need 15 pieces for an upcoming task. Then, I go to the bathhouse, which is almost finished being repaired. I meet Ellen there to find out about my next task. She tells me she needs a skilled and responsible chef, so I need to raise my fame level before she will trust me with the tea house. Next, I go to the market and buy a recipe for tomato watermelon bites. I then go to Uriel to give him water and receive another recipe, but unfortunately, it is just a common one. I am hoping to buy Wagyu beef, but even though I give Uriel gifts to improve our relationship, it still doesn't appear in the store. So, I decide to go on a date with him instead. I choose the East Beach as the location because he likes it there. The date doesn't go as I expect. He takes me around the beach, says a few flirtatious things. And eventually, we stop and kiss. I am not fond of it, but it happens. Oh wait, where are his pants? Ha ha ha. After returning to town, I accept the mission that offers 4 power cells as a reward. I then go to the restaurant, make tea for the staff, set up the menu, and sell high-value dishes. Next, I go open a restaurant. It is my first time using the barista machine, so I play a mini-game where I adjust the water and steam pressure. The closer the temperature is to the red target, the better the quality of the dish. I also unlock the party planner skill with my unused skill points, which will help me earn more power cells. Day 30. In the morning, I arrive at the restaurant, move all the items, and transfer the staff to the waiting room. Then I go to find Mrs. Pomarine, as I am going hunting today. She leads me deep into the forest, walking everywhere to find some creature. Although she is of advanced age, she moves very quickly, and I lose quite a bit of energy trying to keep up with her. As we walk, she complains about her sore legs, but her pace is still faster than mine. Eventually, we find something massive, resembling a giant boar. Before the battle, Mrs. Pomarine warns me that this creature is very aggressive and that I should not get too close to it. The fight begins. It is an ancient Razorback with 1500 HP. I shoot while moving, and when it gets close, I put away the bow and run to a safe distance, then shoot again. I keep repeating this action over and over. Luckily, I just switched to a new bow with higher damage, so defeating it doesn't take much time. Finally, I defeat it. As we approach its corpse, Pomarine discovers an ID tag. It is from Lelsh. It might have escaped from a facility, or they might have released it here. It seems like Lelsh is up to something. Finally, Mrs. Pomarine gives me her old bow as a gift. There's a volcano nearby, so I go to collect some sulfur. However, I didn't expect there to be an additional ancient Razorback inside. Next, I need to go to the bathhouse to get the tea room key, so I decide to spare it. I meet Ellen and receive the key, and her next order is for me to prepare a soft opening for the staff and some locals so she can gauge the customer experience. When I enter the tea room, I find it quite spacious. First, I need to prepare the staff's interior and the ingredients for the test run tomorrow. I use the computer to select the staff. I place the cooking tools near the fridge for the chefs to access easily. Then place tables near the food trays so the servers can quickly bring food to the customers. After that, I go back to the restaurant and see that the bear is ready. I take it. And I also store the tea dispenser to bring it to the tea house. When I move the tea machine, all the remaining tea is lost, but it doesn't matter. I also need to bring the cooking ingredients over there. Since this is a soft opening and there aren't many customers yet, I bring over as many ingredients as I can. Once everything is done, I head straight to the tea room and store the ingredients in the fridge. Don't forget to place the tea machine in a convenient spot and brew tea for the staff. All is prepared, let's open the doors. While cooking, I receive a new epic recipe for elderberry pancake. Because I prepared so well, serving the customers is a breeze. It's not overwhelming at all, and the staff doesn't even need to drink tea. At the end of the test run, I receive many compliments from everyone. The bathhouse will reopen soon, as there are still a few things that need fixing. After the conversation, I received the epic recipe for elk with scarlet sauce. At the end of the day, I meet B, deliver the beer to her, and receive a distiller machine. Day 31. This morning, I go to the greenhouse and see that the grapes are ready for harvest, so I immediately start picking them. Then, I learn a new skill, which is brewmaster. I check the quest board and see to hunting quests that need to be done, so I decide to tackle them right away. First, I accepted April's bet that I could get 5 red pheasants within 2 days. There are many around April's house, and since the area is smaller than hunting in the forest, chasing the pheasants is easy. After a while, I hunt all 5. The second quest is to hunt 2 elder boars, as many tourists are recently attacked by them. Uriel asked me to hunt them to reduce the number of old boars. Since there are many elder boars in the cave, I go there to hunt while also mining for resources. After completing both quests, I go to town and buy 2 rare recipes, one for tuna tataki from Mr. Goey's fish shop, and the other for spinach stuffed mushrooms from Nabia. At Uriel's chop shop, located nearby, I go to turn in the quest, and it gives me the reward for hunting the 2 boars is vanilla seeds. Now that I have money, I start buying items from the merchants in the market more often. While I can hunt to gather materials, it takes time, and I prefer to focus on selling food rather than hunting or fishing. Next, I go to April's house to claim my reward. Because the utensils and cooking ingredients are currently in the tea house, I plan to go there to clean up. As I pass through the gate, I see Najat walking around the yard, and I approach her. She wants to have a private conversation with me. After that, she leads me near the volcano. Najat tells me that she used to work for the Colombo crime family. Yesterday, she was caught by Damien, one of the leaders of the family, when she went into town to buy something. 2 years ago, the crime family sent her to steal the ownership papers of the bathhouse, but she had no other choice because she needed a family. When she met Aylin, she felt like she had found a real family, and Aylin didn't know her original purpose. The Colombo crime family thought she had died in an accident. However, when Damien found out she was still alive, he threatened to reveal the truth to Aylin unless she complied with his demands. Since Damien likes food, Najat plans to bribe him with a fantastic meal at Les Sequoia. She told him to come to Les Sequoia tonight. I start preparing for the evening by first clearing out the tea room and moving everything back to Sequoia. Then, I rearrange the restaurant, open the doors, and wait with Najat for Damien to arrive. Najat promises to treat him to a fantastic meal that will make him forget everything Najat has done. After that, he and his associates come into the restaurant, order food, and enjoy their meal. Since there are 4 people, I hire 1 extra chef and 1 waiter. I serve him an epic dish, so I have to play a mini-game. It's easy to get 100 points for the elk with scarlet sauce. After the meal, Najat and I talk with Damien. Damien praises me as a great chef, but even after enjoying the meal, he still doesn't change his decision and continues to threaten Najat. Suddenly, Aylin appears and stops Damien. She threatens to report his extortion activities and his profession to the authorities, which will land him in prison. Damien agrees to leave and says he will expose everything about Najat, but he doesn't know that Aylin already knows everything. Damien's plot fails completely, and he is forced to leave. Aylin reveals that she has been keeping an eye on Najat after noticing her strange behavior and decides to help her. She doesn't care about Najat's past because she sees the change in her. Najat explains that the crime family wants to use the bathhouse to produce illegal robots. Nadja thanks me and says we need rest for a few days before reopening the bathhouse. At the end of this quest, I receive a recipe for cocoa orange cake. Day 32. I am trying my luck today by going to the library to find new recipes, but it seems luck is not on my side as I find two recipes that I already know how to make. After that, I go to the market to buy more ingredients for the restaurant. When I return to the restaurant, I make salmon egg benedict to complete a quest. This is the mini game I play the best, so I easily get 100 points. To prepare for the bathhouse opening, I hire additional staff. I choose rare staff to hire. After refreshing the staff list a few times, I manage to hire 5 more people. Since it is still early, I go to Boa to deliver food and receive 1140 credits in return. After that, I start selling food to customers. Because my restaurant constantly updates new dishes, I have many game to play. This time, I unlock the auto-cook feature for common recipes that use fried. Next, I have to use the barista machine to make sweet tea, and this mini-game is also quite easy for me. Before leaving the restaurant, I collect the refined copper and make a new piece. It is only 6:40 p.m., so I decide to go hunting a bit. First, I go near April's house to hunt and gather. I happen to see April standing in the flower garden, so I go over to greet her. Then, I go to the forest to hunt animals, gather vegetables and fruits. There, I find a new ingredient called twisted root tree. I don't know its use yet. Day 33. As usual, I go to the market this morning to buy some items. When I arrive at the first store, I immediately buy an epic recipe. From now on, I can make cranberry cheesecake. Then, when I go to buy fish, I learn a new recipe for fish stew. Next, I ship a cone shell to Aloy and she gives me 2 primroses in return. After that, I meet Cora to claim my reward for hunting 6 red pheasants, and this time the reward is a hot pot recipe. I have gathered all the ingredients to craft the coffee dispenser, so I go to Bits and Pieces to make it. Following that, I go to the bathhouse to check on the progress of the repairs. It seems like the renovations are complete. When Aylin sees me arrive, she starts a conversation and then takes me on a tour, introducing the features of the bathhouse. The bathhouse has been renovated with ultramarine tile floors and new copper heat pumps. We are standing in the changing room. Next is the lobby and the main bath. This bath is so large that many guests can bathe at the same time. On the right side is a small private bath for those who prefer a more private experience. Lastly, there is an upstairs bath, suitable for small groups and parties. Each bathing area has a different fragrance because each uses a different bath block. Typically, the water in the bath needs to be changed once a day for customers. After our conversation, I receive the task to fill up all 3 bathhouse baths with bath blocks. Since I have enough sulfur, I go to the bath block formulation room. The first time I play, I still haven't gotten the hang of it, so I only get 3 points for completing the blocks. The second time, I improve by selecting 3 matching ingredients, which gives me 7 points. Finally, on the last attempt, I don't miss any steps and score 10 points. Each time I complete a bath block, I receive a Peony ticket, which I can take to Nadja to exchange for decorations. The higher the bath block score, the more tickets I receive. After finishing, I go upstairs to report to Aylin. The bathhouse has been fully restored and is ready to open. To prepare for the reopening, I need to make sure there are enough seats, ingredients, and staff to serve 40 customers, the largest number of customers I've seen since becoming the owner of Le Sequoia. Since I still need more utensils and tables, I go to La Galerie to buy. Next, I come to Le Sequoia to clean up and then return to the tea house to set up tables, kitchen tools, and store ingredients in the fridge. Everything is ready, and the bathhouse officially opens. The locals are very excited about the event, and many are already waiting in front of the door for the bathhouse to open. A steady stream of people entered, changes clothes, and bathes in the bathhouse. The bathhouse grows more and more crowded. After their baths, they head to the tea room to enjoy food and drinks. There are a lot of orders piling up. My staff and I work hard. While cooking, I unlock a new recipe for apple cider with cinnamon. Since I have also added new dishes to the menu, I have to play a mini-game to unlock the auto-cook feature for the epic recipes using the oven. After a long day of hard work, I only earned 2,814 credits because the cost of paying the staff is quite high. Afterward, I find Aylin to have a chat. Aylin thanks me a lot and praises me as a skilled chef. She says that she feels White Ash Harbor has undergone a big change thanks to me. In the end, she lets me choose one of 3 rare ingredients. I am torn between saffron and ginseng, since I can fish for sturgeon roe in the summer, but I ultimately decide to choose saffron. Day 33 plus 3. 3 days later, everyone is at the dock to bid farewell to Chef Cousteau. Everyone thanks him for being here, but he needs some rest and is heading to Mount Santino to see his grandkids. He says he is very proud of my decision to come here, and now I should focus on growing and striving to become the kind of chef I want to be. Afterward, I go to the market and buy 2 recipes. Unlocking both, I learn how to make spinach salad and roasted pumpkin. I also remember to go to the library to search for a recipe, and luckily, I find the recipe for elderberry tea. Next, I check the mission board and take on the task to hunt 5 red pheasants. Since everything needed for my restaurant is still stored at the tea house, I go there and open the doors to welcome customers. There are quite a few customers today. My income for the day is 3,767 credit. Then, I clean everything up and move it back to my restaurant. Right now, I want to focus on selling at Les Sequoias since it's closer to where I live, making it more convenient for me to travel. Later, when I have more money, I'll come back to redecorate the place. After finishing the cleaning, it's already 10 p.m., so I decide to head to the forest to complete the new task I took this morning and gather more ingredients for cooking. Day 37. After many days of waiting, today I finally received my first gift box from Nabia. She gives me some cream macaron, a cooking stove and a blue closet. Next, I go to the mine to drill for ores. Then, I head into town to chat and do some shopping. Today, Uriel is selling the recipe for mango boar bites, so I buy it right away. After that, I go to the Rose Hotel to meet Robit and let him know that I've completed the mission. In return, he rewards me with the recipe for whiskey chocolate ice cream. Today is a fruitful day for me as I also learn another recipe at the library. It's time to head back to the restaurant. When I arrive, I see the alcohol drink machine is free, so I walk over to the boiling vat, choose the brewing mode, and add 5 barley and 5 wheat into the machine, which are the ingredients to make whiskey. Next, I spend some time setting up the restaurant. Next, I make a cocoa orange cake to deliver to the customer tomorrow. It seems like this mini-game isn't too hard. I've completed it perfectly. It's time to welcome the customers now. Today, I served 18 customers. It looks like a busy and successful day at the restaurant. The day is over now, so I'll head back to the hotel and get some rest. Day 38. This morning, I received many letters from friends and especially a gift box from Thelio. Next, I stop by the greenhouse to water the plants. Then, I head into the town and take on a task of preparing a private meal at my restaurant. I want to buy some alcohol, so I go to the vending machine to purchase it. Suddenly, I see an epic recipe, so I buy it right away. When I open it, I learn how to make cocoa bombs. I continue to buy another recipe for making veggie ramen. After that, I go to the town hall because I have enough contribution points, so I choose the copper mines project as I need a lot of copper to craft tools and machinery. It is time to head back to my restaurant. First, I grind some cereals to make flour and then refine gold. Once that is done, I start preparing the private meal for Casper. Since it is just one person, it is enough for me to cook and serve at the same time. I serve the meal so excellently that I receive an additional 2 green stars and earn 8 power cells. After that, I start selling food to customers. After about 35 days of opening, my restaurant has welcomed 400 guests and completed all 3 reputation tasks. The reward I receive is 10 power cells and the salmon and croûte recipe. With a little time left, I go fishing for. Day 39. Now, every day when I step out of the house and see the mailbox with the envelope symbol, I feel so excited, like opening a mystery box, wondering what I'll receive from my friends. Oh, today I received a gift from Milo. She gave me decorations like flowers, balloons, and especially a wooden stage. After so many days of care, my orange and lemon trees finally bear fruit. Time to harvest. Then, I stop by Hazel's Bubble Shack and buy the recipe for matcha tea. After that, I accept Uriel's task to collect 10 scallops. I'm not sure where to catch them yet, so I go to Mr. Goey's shop to buy them. Next, I go to the library and find the recipe for meat pizza. Since I am near Chop's shop, I stop by to complete the task for Uriel, and he gives me a rare recipe for spinach tomato smoothie. Right next to it is the town hall, so I go in to donate the gold I have refined. One piece of gold earns me 280 points. Since the copper mines still haven't been unlocked, I can't start a new project yet. Next, I head back to the restaurant. When I arrive, I see that the boiling vat has produced 10 grain mash. Now, I need to put the mash into the fermentation tank and wait. Time to make some money. The restaurant is busy today. And at the end of the day, I earn 11,051 credits. The restaurant also gains more reputation because I meet all 3 criteria. This time, the prestige reward is 12 power cells, 2 skill points, and the tuna ramen recipe. I've learned so many dishes now that my fridge needs more space to store more ingredients, so I decide to upgrade it to 60 slots. Now, the fridge is much bigger. Day 40. Today is the 3rd consecutive day I open a mystery box. What do I get today? This box is from B, and she sends me to kitchen counters and 1 chair, all of which are quite expensive items. After that, I go to the greenhouse to harvest grapes and diligently water the plants. After that, I go mining for ores. I also talk to people to improve my social skill. I need to buy more cooking ingredients from the shops in town and purchase additional seeds to plant coconut trees. Once I finish all that, I go to the restaurant to make money. While cooking, I get the recipe for stuffed squid. My income today isn't bad. I earned 12,170 for credits. For the prestige task, I have completed 2 out of 3, with the last one being really tough as I must serve 1,000 customers. At the end of the day, I go to B's bar to buy more alcohol for cooking and sell the remaining bottles of beer since I don't use them. Many expensive dishes require alcohol for preparation. Day 41. Today, the copper mine has been cleared and is ready for extraction. So I go there to see what it's like inside. It's not much different from the outside, except that there's a lot of copper here. When I go up, the path is blocked, and I think if I open all the caves, all path will be connected. Since it's Saturday and most shops are closed, I don't waste time shopping. Instead, I use that time to head to the volcano. Suddenly, I see someone standing at the entrance of the volcano. I approach and ask, and he introduces himself as Hugo, a B-level officer of the Lelsh Corporation. Lelsh no longer extracts sulfur here, but they still use the volcano. I'm not sure what they're doing because Hugo can't reveal much more. He's only here on weekends and sells some raw materials. After that, I head to the restaurant. The second stage of making whiskey is done, and I collect 10 whiskey wash. I continue to put it into the distiller, which is the final stage. It's time for the restaurant to open. I need to play a mini-game to unlock auto-cook for epic dishes when using the counter. I'm not very good at this game, but it's okay. 70 for points is enough to meet the standard. Seeing that it's still not yet 12 p.m., I go into the forest to gather materials, and fortunately, I find some seeds. Day 42. I receive a task to prepare a private meal at the restaurant for Hazel. After that, I head up to the volcano to check what Hugo is selling. But there are many pheasants nearby, so I take the opportunity to shoot them for raw. Today, Hugo is selling materials I don't need, so I decide not to buy anything. I return to the restaurant, set up the menu, and add more rare dishes. This not only helps increase the restaurant's reputation but also makes more money. Next, I begin serving Hazel. During this time, I also learn the celebrity chef skill. Thanks to this skill, my restaurant can attract celebrities. The better their dining experience, the higher the reward. This time, I serve Hazel with 8 gold stars, so the reward isn't that great. After that, I decide to restructure my staff to save on wages. Since the chef has to do more work, I hire more staff than just 1 server. Once everything is set up, I open the restaurant and continue selling until late at night. Day 43, I check my mailbox and luckily receive a gift box from Hazel. She gives me some furniture. Today, when I stop by my farm, I see that all the trees are bearing fruit, so I start harvesting. For the cinnamon tree, I have to use the scythe to collect the bark. After that, I go mining for ores. To get to town, I pass by Hazel's bubble tea shop, so I drop in and buy an epic recipe for coconut ice cream. Once in town, I go to La Galerie, sell some unused items, and buy 2 steamers. Today is Mea-lou's birthday. Since the game is still new and there's no dating feature with NPCs yet, I figure gifting isn't super important. I find some fruit in my bag and try giving her a mango, but she doesn't like it. Then I head to the town hall to build a community storage. When this project is completed, the storage will be placed right in town, and the slot capacity will increase from 28 to 40. Next, I tidy up my restaurant, rearrange the tables and chairs, place the tea and coffee machines near the window, set the stage in the center, add 2 decorative trees nearby, and finally put the 2 steamers in the corner. Once everything is ready, I host a party for Mrs. Pomarine. She goes on stage to say a few words, and then the party begins. I cook and serve food for everyone, and have to complete a mini-game to unlock auto-cook for epic recipes that use the grill. At the end of the party, besides the credits, I receive some ingredients and a sandwich hat. I try it on, it looks fun, but since it's summer, I stick with the sun hat to stay cool. Finally, I check the fridge and notice we're running low on meat, so I use the remaining time to go hunting. Day 44. I start the new day by opening a gift from Uriel. Even though April lives nearby, I rarely visit or talk to her, so today I stop by to check in and say hi. After that, I head to the market to do some shopping. When I stop by the vending machine, I manage to buy a recipe for mango cupcakes. On the way back to the restaurant, I pick some fruit along the way and, luckily, I find a coffee tree seed. Just what I need, and I haven't seen anyone selling it. When I get back, I start experimenting with new types of alcohol. This time, I'm trying to make mead. The first step is to put honey into the boiling vat and set it to steam mode. Then, the restaurant opens for business. It's my first time cooking a steamed dish, so I have to play a mini-game. Using the machine isn't too hard. I press the A and D keys to adjust the green and red bars so they line up in the optimal zone, which is marked by 2 boxes on the bar, then keep tapping carefully so it stays within the zone. Today's earnings are pretty solid. I make 10,720 for credits. Day 45. This morning, I swing by the greenhouse to plant the coffee tree from the seed I found yesterday. Then I head to the beach to look for crab meat, but I run into a laggy spot and can't pick up the meat there. So frustrating. After that, I decide to reset all my skills to learn some new ones. Here's the full list of skills I have to relearn. Aside from the essential ones, I also pick up 2 new skills. The first is Treasure Hunter. This skill helps me find hidden treasures on the beach and in caves. The second is Ocean Seer. With this, special fishing spots appear on the ocean surface, and fishing there gives me a chance to catch giant fish and even discover sunken treasure hidden behind them. With that done, I accept a quest to hunt 6 red pheasants. Since reading is important, I go to the library to look for cookbooks, hoping to learn some new recipes. And guess what? Luck smiles on me. I discover my very first legendary recipe without spending a single coin. It's called scallops with elderberries, and to cook it, I need to gather 5 different ingredients. Then, I go meet Bianca to craft a fruit press. I need it to make wine. Then I get to the most important part of the day, which is cooking and taking care of my customers. With a bit of time left before the day ends, I go hunting to complete quests. I need a lot of power cells to upgrade the restaurant, build an automatic watering system, and set up research zones for ingredients. Day 46. I go to April's place to buy a shovel for treasure hunting. Once I reach the beach and start looking around, I spot something sparkling in the sand. I walk over with my shovel and notice a red X. I dig at that spot and find a treasure chest. Inside, there are 21 pieces of tuna and a swimsuit. I try to wear it, but it doesn't work. Maybe it can only be worn at the bathhouse. When I check the daily quest board, I immediately pick any quest that offers power cells as a reward with no hesitation. After that, I head back to the restaurant to cook mango boar bites. Once I'm done, I need to see April again to buy a rose for another quest. As soon as I arrive, I see her standing and staring at the floor, where shattered glass is scattered everywhere. The culprit behind all this is none other than the boar. Somehow it managed to break through the door and destroyed her crystal orb. Without it, April can no longer communicate with the forest spirits, and now she's at a loss for what to do. I tell her I'll help recreate the orb, but to do that, I need to collect a perfect elite shard, which is extremely rare and difficult to mine. She figures I should talk to Bianca, she might know how to extract. I go find Bianca and ask her about it. Luckily, she has a special tool powerful enough to drill through the required material, but it's not cheap. She asks for 1,500 credits and 5 power cells. I agree and get the diamond drill, the best drill in the game so far. Bianca also tells me I might find the perfect quartz crystal in the cave. For now, I have to deliver food to its owner. I head to Takashi farmhouse to drop off the order and get rewarded with a black zhang pants. Since I'm already near the train station, I drop by to see Benjamin and let him know that I've completed the pheasant hunting quest. He rewards me with 3 power cells. Then I head over to the nearby beach and lucky me, I find another treasure chest. Inside, there's a rare counter. The final task of the day is delivering a rose to Autum, who gives me 3 more power cells in return. Finally, I head back to the restaurant and open up for customers. I'm serving a legendary dish. I need to play a mini-game to unlock the auto-cook feature. It's a high-tier dish, so of course the mini-game is challenging. The mini-game is tough, the circle spins super fast. Luckily, I managed to score 89 points. Day 47, I go to the cave to find a perfect quartz crystal. After walking for a bit, I see a huge chunk of it. I go up and drill it for a while and manage to get it. Since I'm already in the cave, I take the chance to mine more minerals. With my advanced drill, it only takes 1 or 2 tries to extract them. Once I'm done, I go looking for April. She tells me to ask Anime to polish the crystal into a perfect sphere. After getting the perfect crystal ball, I'll need to take it into the deep forest and place it on the stone pedestal in front of the great sequoia tree. I also need to prepare food to offer with the crystal and leave everything in the forest overnight. Following April's advice, I go look for Anime. On the way, I stop by the market. I chat with Milo and end up buying the recipe for French cream puffs. Then I find Priska to upgrade my restaurant to make it bigger, and I also pick the barbershop project to be renovated. After this project is completed, I'll be able to change my hairstyle. Next, I go to Anime and ask her to polish the crystal for me. She says she has a headache and can't do it. So I head to Valentina's infirmary to buy her some painkillers. As soon as she gets the medicine, Anime gets to work right away. And after a while, I receive a beautiful and shiny crystal ball. Hearing that I'm going into the deep forest, she warns me to be careful because she's heard there are large wild animals there. Before heading to the forest, I need to go back to the restaurant and prepare 3 vegetable dishes for the offering. But when I get there, the whole place is empty. I didn't know that upgrading the restaurant would make all the furniture and machines disappear. All my tea, coffee, and ingredients in the fermenting machine are gone. Haze. I have to put my sadness aside and start rearranging everything. After a while, everything is back in place. I start preparing the 3 vegetable dishes. After finishing everything, I go to the fermenting machine to start over. First, I put honeycomb into the boiling vat and select the boil mode to make neat. Second, I add wheat and barley to the boiling vat, setting it to boil mode to craft some whiskey. Finally, I place grapes into the fruit press and choose the mash setting to produce red wine. After that, I open the restaurant to serve customers. I decide to head into the deep forest to complete the mission tomorrow instead of today, since I've spent almost all my money upgrading the restaurant and need to earn some back. And that turns out to be a good decision. Not only do I earn more credits, but I also receive 8 power cells for providing great service to a VIP guest. The weekend has arrived, and since all the shops are closed, I decide to spend these 2 days doing quests, gathering ingredients, and heading back to the restaurant to cook and serve dishes to customers. Continuing the April's crystal ball quest, I go into the deep forest, reach the altar, and place the crystal ball along with the 3 vegetarian dishes. Then I spot an elk wandering nearby, so I shoot it and get a good amount of meat. Next, I head to the volcano room to check out what Hugo is selling today. He's got some ores I don't need, so I leave and stop by the pond near the bathhouse to fish for squid. I take the opportunity to gather a few tea leaves and harvest some sorghum as well. I drop by the bathhouse and pick up a quest from Elisa to make a steak burrito with honey. On my way back to town, I notice that the hair salon has been renovated. Looks like there haven't been any customers yet, so I decide to change my hairstyle to support Antonio. But picking a new style is tough. What should I go for? After much thought, I finally make my choice. So, what do you think? Is my hair fire or what? After that, I swing by Eleventh to buy some dark chocolate for dessert, since only this place and the Caffeinista vending machine out front carry it. I also happen to pick up the recipe for grape tart while I'm there. The next morning, I return to the forest. I pick more tea leaves and even find some coffee tree seeds. Then I collect the crystal ball and go find April to give it back to her. She thanks me with a gift, and between the two options, I choose silver, since my relationships with most of the NPCs are already high, so I don't really need the pendant of love. Next, I go treasure hunting. The first treasure chest I find is on the beach, and inside are 3 fancy tables. The second one is in the cave. I open it and find a retro TV. With everything outside done, I return to the restaurant, toss some ingredients into the machine to make wine, then open the place up for business. As I'm cooking, I end up learning how to make an elk cheeseburger. Business is good today. I make quite a bit. Before heading to the hotel to sleep, I end the day by picking up the recipe for club sandwich. Day 50. I start the day by going into the restaurant to cook dishes for a quest. Then I head into town and receive a quest to organize a party for Najat. Next, I meet Bianca and craft an aging barrels machine. Now I've got everything I need to start brewing different types of alcohol. Thanks to the community chest project, I can easily store items right in the center of town without needing to go back home. After that, I go sell excess furniture and tools I no longer use at La Gallery. Once everything is settled, I return to the restaurant and place the aging barrels machine in a corner. Then I start Najat's party. At the end of the party, I receive 10 power cells. How great! Before heading to bed, I go fishing to test my luck and see if I can catch a giant fish today. I look for spots on the water with lots of ripples and cast my line there, but unfortunately, I don't manage to catch a giant fish. Day 51. After many days, I finally receive a gift box from an NPC again. When I open it, aside from some food ingredients, I get a bow and a blueprint for the Cords Muse outfit. Then, I head into town and accept a request to cook a private meal for April. While visiting the shops, I buy a recipe for pickled daikon. At the library, I also learn how to make lobster tail with asparagus. I return to the restaurant to prepare for the meal. April only wants vegetarian food, so I update the menu accordingly. Let's get dinner started. To make matcha ice cream, I need to play a mini-game. It's very simple. Just use the mouse to click, shoot, and freeze the ingredients. The more ingredients I freeze, the better the quality of the dish. When April finished eating, she gives me 10 power cells. She is so generous. The private dinner is done. Now it's back to business. I rehire the staff, check the kitchen one last time, and then we're open. While cooking, I get a notification that some dishes are unavailable. When I check, I realize I'm completely out of flour. Tomorrow, I'll need to go buy or gather ingredients to mill more flour, since many of my dishes require it. Day 52. I go to the market to buy cooking ingredients and learn a new recipe, mushroom soup. After that, I head up the mountain to gather sorghum. Then I stop by the town hall and buy a house for 10,000 credits and 10 power cells. Next, I visit the donation station, contribute a diamond, and choose the project to renovate the abandoned building near the beach to build a rec center. After that, I return to the restaurant, put the ingredients into the flour mill, and start making money. During today's cooking session, I unlock auto cooking for rare dishes that use the counter. Day 53 and 54. In the morning, I stop by my new house. I place the bed near the door for easy access when it's time to sleep, and set up some furniture and decorations. Then, I head into town and accept a very simple quest to deliver a cone shell to TEC. I go straight to the takoyaki shop and hand it over to TEC. Next, I visit the library and discover a new recipe called meatball spaghetti. I also didn't forget to find Milo to buy more flour and grain. Back at the restaurant, I grind flour and brew some alcohol. Then I start selling food. Over these 2 days, I learned 3 new dishes while cooking. The first is scallop risotto. The second is Spanish clams. And the last one is purple haze martini. With a bit of time left in the evening, I wander around collecting ingredients. I go fishing and catch some caviar, which sells for a decent amount of money. Finally, I return to my house and sleep. It feels so good to sleep in a place that's truly mine. The weekend is here. Every morning, I water the plants, and this morning, I enjoy the sweet fruits of my labor. After that, I go on a treasure hunt. I open a chest and receive a new hunting tool called the wood staff. I try using it to shoot crabs. It isn't too hard to use. I just hold and drag the arrow to aim at the enemy, then release. It only hits nearby targets. Since it's a common staff, the damage is pretty low. Right in front of me, I spot a wavy fishing spot, so I cast my fishing rod. And lucky me, I catch a giant fish and unlock an achievement. Catching big fish gives me more meat. Like this time, I get 40 to tuna. Later in the cave, I find another chest containing a sapphire necklace, which is quite valuable. Then, I head into town and see a crowd gathered in front of a shop. I go check it out, and it turns out to be the Rec Center project, the one I donate to for repairs. Inside, there's a gym area, 2 arcade machines, a vending machine, and tables and chairs where people can relax and have drinks. I also stop by the Galley in the Rose Hotel. Turns out, it's a place where they display statues of famous chefs. There's also a huge painting on the wall. Next, I go to Town Hall, donate a gold bar, and choose the Emerald Mines project. I also pick up a quest to earn more power cells. After that, I head to the forest to gather vegetables and wild fruits. I return to the restaurant to make a sunset cocktail and deliver it to Mr. Brownie. Finally, back at the restaurant, I host a party for Najat. She is very pleased and rewards me with 7 power cells. The weather is starting to shift into autumn. The trees are turning orange, the leaves are falling, and the air is becoming cooler. Over the next 7 days, I continue to diligently water my plants, digging for minerals in caves. The cave packed with emeralds has finally opened up, so, of course, I've got yet another thing to keep me busy. Heading to the market. Fishing. Hunting and gathering in the forest. Alongside these daily routines, I also experience some exciting moments. While searching for treasure, I come across 2 mysterious chests containing strange items. The first chest gives me a silver tiara. I try it on and think it looks good on me, so I keep it on. The second chest contains a glow bracelet that emits light, making it easier for me to navigate at night without worrying about the dark. I also receive a gift box from an NPC, which contains some ingredients, clothes, and a blueprint for the moonlight dress. Naturally, I try everything on right away. A cute pair of pink bunny ears and a long-sleeved disco jacket that's perfect for the season. Next, a furniture-filled gift box from April. While shopping for ingredients at the market, I also pick up 2 new recipes, salmon roll and honey daiquiri. I don't forget to stop by the library to search for more cooking recipes. And sure enough, fortune favors the bold, as I learned 5 new dishes. Baked salmon, pina colada, white sauce linguine, whiskey bacon bites, and apple cider jelly. Alongside the activities mentioned above, I continue to actively complete missions to earn power cells, contribution points, and learn new recipes. The mission to hunt 2 elder boars is quite simple for me, as there are plenty of elder boars in the cave, so I just go in and hunt them down. After completing it, April rewards me with a new recipe for tuna nigiri. Cooking quests are no problem for me. I just cook, deliver the dish to the customer, and receive 5 power cells in return. Hunting crabs is an easy quest too, and the cave happens to be the perfect spot for it. Honestly, cooking for customers is my favorite part of the game. Not only do I earn credit, but I also get to learn new recipes like palachinkan, baked lobster with cheese, and Wagyu steak sandwich. Occasionally, my restaurant gets a VIP guest. This week, only one came by, but since the food was so good, they gave me an extra 13 power cells as a thank you gift. The restaurant's revenue this week is also quite solid. I also learned a new skill called True Gourmet, which increases my dish quality by 10% and allows me to attract legendary level staff. The final highlight of the week is that I build the BBQ Research Facility. After 3 days, I'll be able to go there to research new recipes and unlock extra features when using cooking equipment. The new week is here. Everyone, let's see what I'm experiencing this week. The thing that makes me happiest this week is receiving an incredible gift from B. She gives me a legendary blueprint for the amethyst lance. If I manage to craft it, it will be my very first legendary weapon. To craft tools, weapons, and clothes, I need bianimal hide and silk from Milo. While shopping, I pick up several new recipes: clam chowder, grilled daikon cake, tropical blast, lobster cream soup, and spinach stuffed squash. I visit Bianca's shop to see if I can find anything to boost my damage. I don't find any useful augmentations, but I buy a Dalle Microprocessor just to try it out. It turns out it only works with androids. Well, I'll just put it in my storage and treat it as a collectible. At the library, I don't learn much this time, just a recipe for grape cherry popsicle. But I do make a neat discovery. The library connects directly to Town Hall. I can now walk straight to the main hall without passing through all the market stalls. It's such a time saver. This week at Town Hall, I complete 2 new development projects. The first is Lelsh Silvers, which lets me buy legendary materials in shops. The second is a new furniture store that adds a ton of cute decoration options to town. While I'm running around completing tasks, I can't help but admire how beautiful the game looks in autumn. There's a warm, peaceful vibe everywhere. Mea-lou's garden glows with fruit-heavy trees, and the mountain trees turn soft pink and orange. I'd love to just enjoy the view, but with winter coming, it's time to gather and stock up ingredients. Up in the mountains, the trees shift to soft pink and orange tones that are incredibly soothing to look at. Back at the restaurant, things go really well. Since I learned the true gourmet skill last week, my dishes consistently score over 100 points. I also unlock more recipes through cooking as apple raspberry cider, fish and chips, and spicy fish taco. I managed to complete the entire prestige quest board too. After about 70 in-game days, I serve 1,008 customers and receive 15 parcels, skill points, and the recipe for scallop ravioli. A new quest board appears. One of the tasks is to receive any restaurant award. I'm still not quite sure how to complete it yet. I check the recruitment information on the computer to see if any legendary staff are applying to work at the restaurant. Fortunately, I hire Remy Yoshida. He works without needing rest, but he has a 3% confusion rate. Now that I'm earning a good amount of money, I will order ingredients, and they will be shipped every morning throughout the week and stored in the fridge. To do this, I need to learn the supply chain skill. This week, the BBQ Research Facility is completed, and I spend time researching by new cooking skills with different meats and improving my oven and microwave abilities. I play many games with these tools, aiming for over 70 points to level up, unlocking new recipes and skills with each level. On the first night, I level up 10 times. At level 1, I unlock BBQ Enhancement 1, which allows me to enhance common meat dishes. At levels 2 and 3, I learn the recipes for bacon-wrapped asparagus and borbeozi. When one reached level 3, I achieved the Firestarter accomplishment, increasing my cooking speed for the oven and grill by 15%. The rewards for levels 4 and 5 are the recipes for bacon-wrapped elk chops and braised boar shank. At level 6, I unlock BBQ Enhancement 2, which lets me enhance rare meat dishes. The next 2 levels teach me the recipes for meatball stew and pheasant in pumpkin sauce. Finally, I unlock the Perfect Cut skill, which boosts the quality of all meat dishes by 10%. On the second night, I have less time, so to save research ingredients, I gather some fruits and vegetables from the forest instead of using items from the fridge. I complete the next 4 levels, which include 3 new recipes: Deluxe Elk Ramen, Jokraut Carne, Boar with Mango Stuffing, and unlock BBQ Enhancement 3. I also tried enhancing the Wagyu tartare with egg, and after it turned out well, I now have to use carrot as an additional ingredient whenever I make this dish. I thought the NPC quests were over, but luckily, since I still talk to Nassim, so my relationship with him has been growing. Then, one day, after leaving the research room to go to sleep, the final NPC character quest appeared. I see Nassim standing alone on the beach, so I approach him and ask what's going on. He tells me that he has lost something important. After talking for a while, it turns out that 2 years ago, he fixed the plumbing in the maintenance room under the Les Sequoia restaurant and kept the key. The night he lost it, he had been drinking with Mr. Both. When he woke up, he found himself lying in the street in the middle of the town square, and the key was gone. Nassim then asks me to help him find the key and suggests I talk to Mr. Both to find out what happened that night. The next day, I go to Mr. Goey's house to ask, but he isn't home, so I head to the beach. There, I happen to find a treasure chest, and when I open it, I find an emerald ring. When I wear it, I get a 10% social boost. Mr. Both was nearby, so I went to ask him. He said he couldn't remember what happened that night either. The only thing he remembered was waking up on the beach, and he suggested I give Nassim the same drink they had that night. It was called cachaça. I am very skeptical about this way of recovering memories, but I decide to follow his advice. I go to the restaurant, put 5 sugar canes into the fruit press, turn it onto the juice mode, and start the machine. 2 days later, I get 5 sugarcane juices and put them into the fermentation tank. Also, now that I have my own house, I go through the door near Milk and Wheat at the Rose Hotel and discover that a pet store is opening. A lot of people from the town are there to check it out. I go inside and decide to buy a male Russian blue cat, name it Avocado, and buy several boxes of cat food. After leaving, I come across another shop that is opening. It's a store specializing in cute furniture and decorations called PomPom Parlour. This is the store I use my contribution points to build. The things inside are really cute. Since I love bubble tea, I buy 2 cups to decorate my restaurant. Now, when I go home, I'm not lonely anymore because Avocado is waiting for me. The next 2 weeks are absolutely explosive for me. If you're curious to see how things unfold, keep watching the video. First of all, I earn 35 power cells by diligently completing quests for NPCs. I help with delivering food and gifts, hunting wild animals, organizing parties. I also learn 10 new recipes, including steak steamed mushroom, daikon with mango confit, crab rangoon, watermelon ice cream, squid nigiri, watermelon cake, pumpkin soup shooter, coffee cake, and clam pizza. On top of that, I ace several mini-games and unlock the auto-cook feature for legendary dishes using appliances like the wooden steamer, oven, and ice cream maker. I also complete the BBQ Research Facility, unlocking the last 3 levels. From there, I learn to more dishes, boar with mango stuffing, and beef Wellington, and unlock the Pitmaster role, so now I can hire chefs with that specialty. Then I go on to build Research Facility level 2 for mixology. Here, I mainly practice to many games involving the barista machine and the blender. I do some research and unlock Mixology Enhancement 1, which allows me to enhance common mixology dishes. Now it's time for the most exciting part of the video. Last week, I find the recipe for the Amethyst Lance, a legendary weapon. But crafting it isn't easy. I need refined rhodium, and currently, the game doesn't have any mines that provide rhodium ore. I feel stuck and unsure when I'll ever get it. Then suddenly, after a long night of cooking and serving non-stop, I get rewarded by a VIP customer with 5 pieces of refined rhodium and a blueprint for the magnetic acceleration bow. Huge thanks to that lovely guest. I hope you keep coming back to my restaurant. The next morning, I head straight to Pomarine and craft the Amethyst Lance. Ta-da, it's done. Thanks to that, I also unlocked the Incredible Power achievement, which only 0.4% of players have. With a new weapon in hand, I go test its damage. The boar is easy to fight in the first phase since it chases me, but in the second phase, it starts running away, which makes it hard to keep up. The Amethyst Lance is better suited for crabs. I then craft the magnetic acceleration bow, which has 55 power to point to attack speed, and a 12% chance to slow enemies for 4 seconds. With a powerful bow, I decide to hunt the smoldering Razorback. But before anything else, I need to buy some pack ice from the infirmary. Next, I head straight to the volcano to hunt down the smoldering Razorback. It has 2000 HP, so my strategy is to shoot, put away my weapon, run, get to a safe distance, then shoot again. After 2 minutes, it finally goes down, and I collect 48 boar meat. As I continue exploring, I stumble upon a chest in the volcano cave. I thought chests only appeared at beaches or normal caves. What a surprise! A few days later, I receive a gift box containing 2 blueprints, one for the aiming bracelet, and one for Poseidon's rod, a legendary fishing rod. Since I already have the materials, I craft it right away. Poseidon's rod has 75 power, and now it only takes a few seconds to pull up a fish after it bites. I think I can fish in caves with it, but turns out it doesn't work there. I also go ahead and craft the aiming bracelet. And next receive a few more blueprints. One for the crystal rod, which only has 60 power, so I'll make it just to collect later. One for the black blazer. And another for fancy vase yellow. This week, I continue Nassim's questline. After finishing brew stages 2 and 3, I get 5 bottles of kashake and give them to him. He drinks them and starts wandering around drunkenly. The next day, luckily, he remembers everything. He takes me to the entrance of the maintenance area and gives me the key, asking me to find an old photo album. I head there and find it right away. The next morning, I check the hotel for Nassim, but he's not there. I visit his home instead. It's a small but cozy place where he lives with his 2 kids. He gives me a trapdoor that I can place anywhere to access the maintenance level. I decide to put it in the restaurant. First, I go to City Hall to expand the restaurant and buy more appliances at La Galerie. Back at the restaurant, I start redecorating right away. I place 4 of each type of appliance because the number of customers keeps increasing. If I only hire more staff but don't have enough equipment, the chefs will end up waiting for each other to cook, which means customers will have to wait longer too. I also redecorate the stage to make it more sparkling and eye-catching. I set the trapdoor near the entrance, then move all the machines related to brewing alcohol, the flour mill, and the furnace down to the maintenance area. Now that the restaurant is spacious and I have my own home, so I use the rest of my parcels to build an automatic irrigation system. I find Bianca, craft for large sprinklers, and set them up in the greenhouse. Some plants still need to be watered by hand, but it's much faster than doing everything manually. With only 2 days left before winter, I decide to order ingredients to last the whole week. When winter comes, all fruits and wild vegetables disappear, so on the 28th, the last day of autumn, I spend the whole day harvesting as many crops as possible. Winter arrives, and snow covers everything in white. My activities change a bit during the season. Keep watching to see what I do in the winter. Early in the morning, I still check my mailbox. One day, I receive a gift box from Nassim, which includes a blueprint for the Colonel's blazer. I then head to the greenhouse to take care of the plants. Farming becomes pretty easy thanks to the automatic watering system. I only need to water 1 or 2 plants by hand. Next, I go fishing. I fish regularly not just for fish meat and caviar, but also in hopes of finding treasures in the sea. After many days, I finally pull up a chest. And fortunately, it's filled with things I don't need. I also dig up a few more treasure chests along the beach. The next activity is mining. Besides the ore scattered around the outer rocks, I now have access to all the connected mines for copper, quartz, emerald, and iron. After finishing the work around the restaurant, I head into town. I go around buying fruits, vegetables, meat, and fish for cooking. I also pick up a few new recipes to add to my collection. Seafood bento, inari sushi, fried sea urchin roll, coffee bomb, and bacon scallop skewer. I also find a few more blueprints from NPCs, such as the Explorer's microprocessor and the snow globe house. I stick to daily quests and earn for power cells, learn how to make tuna tartare, and host parties for NPCs. I frequently visit the library to pick up new recipes, but I'm not so lucky this time. I only learn how to make mulled grape cider. Before opening the restaurant, I go down to the maintenance area. I usually work on brewing alcohol, grinding flour, and smelting ores. Then I open the restaurant and welcome my beloved customers. Besides earning more income and rewards for serving VIP as well, I also learn several new dishes in the process. These include apple strudel, urchin with mushroom soup, yellowtail nigiri, Spicy mushroom roll. Smoked salmon crostini. Orange steak cocktail. And lobster Wellington. While cooking, I unlock auto cook for legendary dishes using the blender and barista machine. Alongside my daily routine, I take on a few other activities. First, I explore the volcano to drill for sulfur and stumble upon another treasure chest inside. Then I go to the bathhouse, make bath blocks, and earn Peony tickets. After finishing 3 bath blocks, the bathwater changes color. Next, I spend time at Research Facility 2, Mixology, to learn new recipes and gain skills. Most of what I learn focuses on drinks. After about 2 days, I reach level 16 and unlock all the rewards. For traits, I unlock Beverage Arts, plus 10% satisfaction from customers ordering mixology dishes. Mixology Enhancement 2, I can enhance rare mixology dishes. Fast Mixer, plus 25% cooking speed for all mixology recipes. Mixology Enhancement 3, I can enhance epic mixology dishes. Mixologist, I can hire chefs with mixology specialization. For recipes, I learn Strawberry Mocha Smoothie, Summer Punch, Tropical Cherry Cocktail, Pumpkin Spice Cocktail, Cherry Mojito, Coffee Old Fashioned, Sangria, and finally, Spicy Mango Shake Cocktail. I also spend some time going on dates. I plan to date every romanceable NPC in the game. But after going on a date with Valentina, I decide to wait for the next update's dating content. As you can see, dating right now just involves walking around the beach and having a short chat, nothing more. Although it's winter and we can't harvest crops, we can still forage for mushrooms in the cave and pick tea leaves. But we can't catch squid because the lake is frozen. Right now, I've explored all the latest content in version 0.6, so I'll end the video here and wait for the next update. If you find this video interesting or you're excited about what's coming next in Chef RPG, please support me by hitting follow and liking the video. If you have any questions, suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below.